Holy crap, a local Jordan is outside for once. No more white skin, rip. So, today's weather, well, slightly overcast. There's still some clouds in the sky, but it is definitely clearing up. Temps are feeling like they're in the 50s. It could be high 40s, low 50s, but it definitely is a brisk day. Definitely a lot nicer than we've been having because, of course, there's some lovely snow over there. So, with the weather forecast out of the way, g'day folks, Jordan here. And we're back at it again with the Dell OptiPlex GX 240. In my last video with this machine, we took a look at Windows NT 4.0 and, installed the drivers and such on this particular system. For those who want a brief recap of the specifications, for those who are just tuning in and haven't seen the first part yet, which, by the way, you should probably watch. It'll be up there. You should go click on it and watch it. But for those who are too lazy or they're actually watching the part 2 after seeing part 1, this is an Intel Pentium 4 running at 1.7 gigahertz, 128 megs of RAM, a 10 gig hard drive, and a 16 megabyte ATI Rage 128 Ultra graphics card. Now, I actually messed up on something, and this is why I'm making a part 2, in addition to the fact that I didn't want to make the first part too long and make me look like an idiot. I screwed up on the network drivers with this system, and in addition, I figured this out in post, and I realized I burned the wrong thing. I only installed the DMI agent. I didn't actually install the driver, so way to go, Jordan. Way to be a Jordan. Anyway, that totally made sense. Wow, I really need to rethink some catchphrases. So today, we're going to fix the network driver, and we're actually going to try browsing the internet with Internet Explorer 2.0. Will it actually work? I don't know. Will we get a bunch of plain text? Probably, but we will get it to work. Whether it means I have to install a PCI network card into this thing or what. I do have one that would work on Windows NT, and I swear those people are just looking at me in that expedition over there. We're going to bring this inside, and we're going to get to work on it. Excuse me for the jump cut. I just totally screwed up on saying some stuff, so my apologies. But anyways, what I was going to initially say was there's some extra software I was going to install on this system to make it more of a complete and updated install of Windows NT, such as Microsoft Office. Of course, I'm going to get Internet Explorer 6 installed after I have my fun with IE2. Because, of course, it'll load more web pages than IE6 because it doesn't have all the tools needed to do that. In addition, we'll probably also install maybe, I don't know, would Kernel X work on Windows NT? I don't know. Anyway, I have a disk for Office 2000. We're going to try that out if I can find it. We'll put Office 2000 on the system. I believe he also said Media Player, I think it was either 6.4 or 7, one of the two. I have to reread the comment. Would work on NT4. So we're going to get a bunch of cool things installed if I can, because of course I can't guarantee everything's going to work, considering that oldapps.com is having a server problem right now, and I don't know if it's been resolved, but I can't download anything from it, so rest in peace oldapps.com. We wish you would return. But we're definitely going to have some more fun with this system. And in addition, we also fixed the networking here at home, and we're going to hopefully, because I have the cable, run a Ethernet cable from the router, which now sits in the living room versus my mother's room, and we're going to run it into my room, and we're going to connect this thing up via Ethernet. Since I don't feel like trying to screw around with Wi-Fi drivers in Windows NT, because I don't think that's going to work very well, because in addition to not having proper USB support from Microsoft, and they never did implement it, in addition to a noisy, what the hell am I talking about? Noisy friggin' Mercury Tracer. There we go. Get it right, Jordan. I need more coffee. Can you tell? Anyway, so in addition to not having proper USB support, I doubt that Wi-Fi would be any more of a challenge on Windows NT, so we're just not going to try it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing inside before I make any more speakos, which is basically my way of saying typos, but in verbal form. Excuse the really loud gaming desktop for a second, but I just realized something. I can actually update the BIOS because I actually have floppy disks here. So we can actually go ahead and update the BIOS on this. It's still on BIOS revision A03, and I think the latest either was A05 or A07. It could have been a different revision. I'm not entirely sure, but we will definitely take care of that when I get the chance. And in addition, I also want to see if the sound driver will actually work. because that is definitely something I did not test in my first video on the system after I got the sound driver installed. So now it'll be my chance to actually test whether or not the sound actually works. My god, it looks so good to see that in high color mode. Damn, does it look nice. Alright, yes, this is the network driver that's failed, so that's why that kept coming up. So I know what that is. Assuming I remember the password. I believe that was it. Yes, it was. Aha, the sound is working. You can just barely hear it, but it did work. So that's pretty cool. So I think first priority, what we're going to do, we're just going to grab a floppy disk, assuming that the dirty floppy drive actually works on this system. Let's go into my computer. And by the way, yes, I did enable the high color icons if I forgot to mention it in my first video on the system. I did actually enable all of the high color icons, and some of them actually look pretty nice. I need to like bring some more mouse cord up here. Aha, sweet. The floppy drive does work. Sweet. So let's just do a quick format. Whoops. Right click, format. And I'll just do a quick format. And we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll go ahead and run the BIOS update. Sweet, it worked. So it looks like this system has a good floppy drive in it, so that's nice to see. And we'll go ahead and run this. Alright, diskette and drive A is about to be overwritten, so yes, go ahead. Basically just doing a raw write command to the floppy drive, which as you can hear, is doing its thing. To complete the BIOS upgrade, reboot the system with the disk and the drive. Gotcha. I will keep that in mind. But first things first, though, I want to go check the, let's see, sounds. Ooh, it does have it. Okay, cool. Because I really like the Windows NT sounds. They just sound so cool. I think of all the Windows versions, I think NT4 had the best startup sounds. We'll go ahead and just manually boot off of the floppy. God, doesn't it bug your OCD mentality when the text is cut off like that? But I hate to do anything because, of course, I'm going to be in DOS, so it's not going to really help out much. So, any second now, we should be in the interface for updating the BIOS. It's really interesting that this doesn't have like one of those like ones you run under Windows and you just update the BIOS. I think my GX 150 had one of those sorts of things, but this one has the older style where you boot up from a DOS floppy. And yes, go ahead. It should be a matter of a couple seconds to update the BIOS on this thing. It's actually dated 2002, so that's quite interesting. So this shouldn't take too long. Alright, cool. And we're on A05. Awesome. I don't know if I got to the BIOS in time. No, I did not. So now we're on the latest BIOS for the GX 240. Sweet. Let's make sure that everything checks out. And it does. Okay. Sweet. Alright, let's go ahead and boot back into Windows NT. And here we are back in Windows NT with a fresh updated BIOS. We gotta wait for the message to come up about the drivers before I log in. There it is. We'll go ahead and fix that now. After hearing that awesome startup sound, of course. Now, I did actually think about this for a second. I wondered if there was any kind of active desktop update, like the IE4 with active desktop update for NT4. I'm not sure if this would actually include the active desktop. It has ACT set up. I'm not sure if that is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not sure if that is exactly what I'm talking about. I could be wrong. Of course, there's fonts in there and a bunch of other things, and I'll get to that in a bit, but now I go ahead and delete this, because we don't need it anymore. So, awesome. Now, let's see, how are we doing in terms of disk space? Now, again, we only have a 4 gig partition. Thought about going in and actually, I think there's a disk management thing under the administrative tools. I believe there's something you can, yeah, disk administrator. I think that's what I'm... Alright, one or more disks have been added to your computer since disk administrator was last run. System configuration will now be updated. Okay, cool. Yes, that is indeed what I'm looking for. Okay, so I want to create an extended partition. Logical drives created within the extended partition will not be accessible from other operating systems. Yes, that's fine. So go ahead, just create that extended partition. And then, is it actually doing it right now? I can't tell. I think, yeah, commit changes now. There we go. Okay, yes, save the changes. Disks were updated successfully. It's recommended that you update the emergency repair disk. I will be sure to do that. Now, let's go ahead and create that and assign it a drive letter. We have E. Yeah, E's fine. And we want to commit changes now. There we go. And now we can format it. See how annoying this is? Alright, we want that to be NTFS. And we want to do a quick format. We're going to say, just call it a extended. Not ext4, this is not Linux. This is not Linux we're talking about here. Awesome. So now we have a extended drive. It should show up. Yes, it does. Sweet. So now we have the full 10 gigs of the drive being used. So that's nice. I'm going to go ahead and assign this a label. I'm going to just say... can I actually change it? No, I can't. Huh, interesting. Well, I'll leave it as it is. Okay. So, where is the device? I believe it's under Control Panel and Devices. And this, or something like that. I think it's this one. I gotta... Oh no, this one I leave alone, because that's the DMI agent. I'll leave that alone. But there's something in here that's, like, failed or something that keeps failing on boot up. I gotta figure out which one it is. And, I believe I know. So, yeah. So considering I did get the USB support to work, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try something real quick. I have this USB stick. This is a promotion thing from the school that I'm going to be going to. Of course, I don't want to show their school name here on the video. Obviously, no paid promotion, but we're going to see if we can actually get this to work here under Windows NT. Assuming I can find the right place to pop the USB ports on this thing. I hate this design with a passion. I always hated these because you could never plug anything into these. So let's see. Does it show up when I refresh? I really can't tell. Interesting. I'll need to look into this more because I'm really not sure how this is supposed to work. So let me do a little bit more research. Let me see if I get this to work. Okay, so I changed the background and resolution so that would be a little bit more pleasing to the eye and have a little bit more sharp text. And I finally got the USB ports to work. The USB flash drive to work. So it turns out what I had to do was I had to go under the Inside Out Networks utility, go to the Edge Port Configuration utility, go under Advanced, and I had to change this based on physical USB port, and then I rebooted the computer. And now, hey, we have a U-disk. It picks it up, and what happens when I go to my computer? We have a removable disk. And we have files on it. Freaking rights, yes. So, yeah. So that works. And I'm very happy about that. So now I can get the network driver copied over, and we can get that going. So, sweet. So, first things first, I should probably come into here, and I should probably eject that before I remove it, just so that way it doesn't get corrupted. Knowing my luck, that'll probably end up happening anyway, because this is Windows NT. So, let me go and get this flash drive out of here. And, good, no errors. Sweet. So now we can go ahead and just take this, bring it on down to the USB drive. That copies over, and we should be good to go. Well, this pretty much confirms that this USB stick is a pile of crap. That one up there, it's not even doing anything, and it wasn't doing anything for like 15 minutes, and now it's not even like, now it's not even working, so typical. And I also unplugged this one quite a long time ago, and the Windows Explorer is just frozen, so I wonder what happens if I unplug this. Will it actually respond? Yeah, pretty much. So this thing is basically bottlenecking Windows. Good job. Anyway, I found my 32 gig. I popped that in. Turns out it was working just fine, so now we are able to use the installer. Wow, that took a long time. I don't know why, but it did, so whatever. Let's get this going here. So, we need to come down here and let's see. Windows 98 ME. No, that's not what I want to use. I want to have Windows NT. Double click on my computer icon. Don't need to do that because I can just go down to the control panel, click on the network icon. Then we need to go to adapters, go to add, and then we need to go to location of the network drivers. Okay, so just do the have disk thing. Okay, so this would be under C Dell, oops, drivers. What was it? Hang on a second, I gotta close out of this Internet Explorer window here. R41703. And I think it might be able to find it. Yes, it does. Awesome. So, cool. So now it's probably going to make me restart. I bet you it's probably going to make me restart. Just obtain the IP address. Yes, go ahead. And, yep, it's making me restart. Alright, so let's go ahead and restart. And I'll be back when it restarts. Okay, I'm back from a restart, and so far so good. We no longer have any device driver errors that come up upon boot up. So I'm curious to see if it has picked up an IP address from the router. As far as I know, this network cable is working, so let's find out. Whoops, that's not the right menu. It was under update or something or another. Where is the IP address? I suppose one thing I could try is just going into the command prompt and just type ping, oh, I don't know, www.google.com. If I can learn to type, maybe that might be useful. Hey, that's a good sign. We got a result. Sweet. So, I think we got networking working. And yes, I'm pretty sure people might have caught on to the fact that this is wrong. We'll fix that. So it's currently
223. Oops, that's not correct. Right. So let's go 224 and then just make this a 0. Whatever it works.
Close enough. Okay, so now we'll go into Internet Explorer and let's see what we can do here. This is probably going to go terribly, terribly wrong. Actually, before we do, let's make sure it's actually set to... That's not the right menu.
Let's see, I don't know.
I think you have to be connected prior to opening it up, and then it'll work. I'm not sure. I don't know. But let's see what happens when we go to google.com. Oh my god! You just see the HTML stuff in the background there, but it actually sort of works. I don't know. I mean, it's working. I don't know. Search for images of Google. I don't know. Hey, I think we might be getting somewhere. I don't know. It's actually loading, which is really surprising to see. So, it's working a lot better than I thought. I mean, it's trying to work. I mean, it's not really working now, but let's try loading its competitor. Let's try going to Bing.com. Although I gotta add the leading www before I can do that. Aw, rip. Bing is down according to Internet Explorer 2. Although I don't think that's totally true. Can I access Bing on my main system? Yep. So, needless to say, I think that's just a thing of Internet Explorer 2. So, yeah. What other websites could we possibly load, I wonder? Could try YouTube, but I don't know how well that's going to work. Let's just take me back to Google. Let's just click the YouTube link here. No, it just redirects me back to Google. So, okay, well, we know that YouTube certainly is not going to work. What other websites could we possibly try? We could try CNN. That would be a joke. Oh, please check that this domain has been added to a service. But it says it's still opening, so... I don't know. It still says it's loading, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to believe here. but I'm going to assume that's not going to work. Let's see. Maybe you could try Fox. I don't know what the website for that would be, so... we got another one. We could try DeviantArt.com. I know that's a website that has a lot of interesting formatting and other stuff. Nope. Bad request. Let's actually just go back to Google. Let's try to do the Space Jam website, if that's actually still going. That'd be an interesting thing to try. Let's see. Space Jam, Warner Bros. Does that website work? I don't know. We're about to find out, though. I'm going to go in. I got a pop socket, so I'm just going to use that here.
That's not really much more stable. My hands are kind of shaking today. Whatever. It's not really loading, is it?
Fail on a part of Internet Explorer 2, I think, or something. So it looks like I can't actually connect to the thing directly. Of course, you have to have a host header or something because you can't just directly connect to it. So let's try oldapps.com. I know it really won't benefit me too much, but be something to try. It's possible you've used this page because the IP address has changed. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not really sure if that's supposed to be something from the router or if that's something from the website. I'm not really sure what to believe on that one. So, okay. We could try MSN. Nope. That's funny. Okay, so we know that Internet Explorer 2 is a fail, but I figured it was worth a try anyway. So, anywho, we'll go ahead and we'll get started here with installing Internet Explorer 6. And now I get to wait on this to finish setting it up. It's going to take a little bit, but any second now. And practically any second now, because of course you know how fast this thing is on Windows NT 4.0. Probably setting up quite a bit. Yep, hard drive light stuck on solid. There we go. And there we have Internet Explorer 6. Oh, it actually installed its own Outlook Express, so it's actually a standalone application from the inbox. How interesting. I wonder if either one of those would actually still connect to the Gmail server. Probably not inbox for sure. Install Windows Messaging. Interesting. Insert the CD for Windows NT. Yeah, that's not. We'll go ahead and do this just to make sure that Internet Explorer 6 is set up properly, even though it's probably not going to be of much use. You know, one of these days I might actually try and see if that still works. I doubt it does, but there we go. We have Internet Explorer 6. Alright. Problems with the web page. Now it's trying to load Microsoft's Run Once thingy, but as you can see, Internet Explorer 6, there is absolutely zero updates on this, so it probably should be updated to IE6 Service Pack 1 at the very least, but not like it's going to be of much use, because every time we go to Google, it's going to do this, so of course Google's not going to work anymore, but Bing should now be able to load. Yep. And then YouTube's probably not going to be any better, so we'll go try doing that. Nope. Let's see. How about... was Old Apps going to work now? Yes, it does. At least it looks like... oh, rip. There's some other things I could try, but we all know how Internet Explorer 6 is. Although I'm quite curious to figure out... when it comes to... whoops, get out of here. I was going to put this in the recycle bin. There we go. Those were, whoops. I can't do it. There we go. I was curious to see what kind of like Firefox or Opera version I could actually put on this thing. It should be Media Player 6.4 of some kind, I think. Yeah, Media Player 6.4. I'll have to try Media Player 7 if I can find a copy of it. I doubt it, but you never know. So yeah, now that's done. And the user interface hasn't changed, although we don't really have the addition of the active desktop either. So I'm not really quite sure what to do with that, or if even NT actually supports that sort of thing. I don't think so, but it is what it is, though. It looks like we got a nice little roundup of updated software, so that's quite nice to see. And Outlook Express 6 should work, and indeed it does. I'll set that up later just to see if it even still works. Anyway, so yeah, let me go see if I can find my Office 2000 disk, and we'll try putting that on here and seeing if that works. Indeed, I did find it. There's Office 2000 Standard. I love this logo, but it's certified for Windows 95, 98, NT4, and 2000. This predates Windows Millennium Edition, so just shows you how old this disk is. This is Service Release 1. So, I think what we'll go ahead and do, let's get the disk out of here. Maybe, if I can do this one-handed. There we go. And we can go ahead and pop that into the C drive after dropping all of everything onto the floor. If I can even close the thing now. And of course, you got to hear at least 5,000 different diesel trucks pass by our house every single day. Nice. Very, very nice. So we'll go ahead and get this installed and get some productivity software on this thing. Okay, so now I gotta put in my CD key, and I'll do that off camera so it goes a little bit quicker. Alright, of course we gotta accept the license agreement. And we'll just do one on this, one on the C drive. See, this, probably just do the standard install, 186 megs, yeah, that's fine. Alright, so we'll go ahead and let that install. Alright, so I'm going to try to get Outlook 2000 to work with Gmail. This is going to be interesting. Of course, I think I have to go under Advanced. I have to set that to SSL. And according to Google, we need port 993 for the incoming. So we need 993, that is correct. And the outgoing needs to be port 465. And 1 minute, that's fine. Alright, connection is LAN. All that stuff is correct. I think everything in here is correct. We'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it syncs in my email. Oh, the server you're connected to is currently using a security certificate that could not be verified. Yes, go ahead. Oh my god! It actually worked! Wow. There comes my email right now. Wow. Hey, that's pretty cool. I'm actually seriously surprised that that actually worked. So, hey, that's pretty cool. So I could double click on an email. And, oh my god, it actually tried to format. It actually looked pretty cool. That's awesome. That is completely awesome. Alright, so I give Outlook some credit. That actually worked. So that's pretty cool. Let's try Word. Of course, got good old Clip It. And let's see. I don't know what other. Let's see what versions of the Office Assistant came with this. I think it's under Help or something. Now, let's hide the Office Assistant. We'll get rid of that for the moment. Let's see. It would be under this. Properties. No. Huh, interesting. Well, anyway, that seems to work just fine. I just couldn't believe that Outlook actually worked the first time. Let's see, Excel opens, so that's good to see. How about PowerPoint? Yep, that works too. Let's do a design template. Let's do... Okay, the CD is still in the drive, so that's probably why that's coming up. So we'll let that reconfigure it. And... oh, sure, that'll be the first slide. That's fine. Ooh, look at that. Classic. Good old classic PowerPoint. Gotta love it. So that works. So overall, it looks as if this is working pretty well. Oh, unexpected network error. Probably because it's not in the right menu. So that's cool. I think that's about it for this particular video series. I think it's long enough. I've been dinking around with this for too long, and I've had my fun getting Outlook working, dinking around with old Internet Explorer, getting the drivers to work, getting the USB to work. So I think that this has been a very successful thing. I'm going to go ahead and set the resolution back down to 800 by 600 before I shut this down, just so that way when I go to put it on another monitor, it doesn't like do anything really stupid where it tries to take the input signal out of range. So, all right, so there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and eject the CD before I actually shut the computer down. Not that I can't do that later, but still. And we'll get to see the resolution change back to 1280 by 1024. Because you have to log out and log back in on an NT-based system in order for the display settings to properly change. It's always been this way. And then it'll go back down to what the resolution was before. And then the lovely dialog box should come up saying it's now safe to turn off your computer.
Any second now. Because there's no ACPI, like soft power sort of stuff.
And back to 1280 by 1024 for some reason. Okay, there we go. And it's now safe to turn off your computer. Of course, at this phase, you can still move the mouse, and it's still technically usable, which is kind of funny. But that's how NT always has been. You just press restart to restart the computer. So, that sums up this video mini-series on the Dell OptiPlex GX 240 running Windows NT 4.0. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will hopefully get to see you all in the next video. So, let's go and shut this thing down. And good night.